Well, a reminder that you still have a lot of time to subscribe to the Penguin Report. 20 issues, only a little less than $30. There's the number to call, 1-800-992-7586. And even if you don't think that the playoff for the Penguins is going on beyond this week, well, even if it doesn't, you still have an opportunity to keep up with the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs, not to mention the upcoming NHL draft. So there is how you get in touch with Penguins Report. Penguin Report, Post Office Box 6429, Pittsburgh 15212. And on sale tonight, the Penguins Legacy T-shirts. Whether you're a new Penguin fan or a veteran of the pre-Mario Lemieux era, you'll love these blue circa 67 Penguin T-shirts and polo shirts. The T-shirts are 100% cotton, available in powder blue, the old Penguin color, with the 67 logo on front. The price $17.95. The polo shirts come in white with a high-quality blue Penguin logo embroidered on the front. The price of that, $39.95. That's the polo shirt we're talking about. To order, call 391-PENS or 1-800-8-GO-PENS or write the Penguin Merchandising Department, care of the Civic Arena, Gate 9, Pittsburgh 15219. Let the Pens break on top early in the hockey game at 1:41. Ulf Samuelsson makes the key pass up to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux puts a shot on net. Defoe lets the rebound come right out to Sean McEachern, and he's there to bang it home. Joe Ricci tried to bat it away, but the bouncing puck wouldn't allow him to do so, and McEachern's first goal, first point of the playoffs from Lemieux and Samuelsson. That has given the lead that stands right now, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Brian Trottier playing in his first playoff game in a couple of years, which he didn't play last year, was an executive with the Islanders, and he's been with the team all year this year as a player and an assistant coach. Had not played in a game since February the 15th against Winnipeg, and playing in his first playoff game tonight, his 220th. He's done very well, winning 4 of his 5 faceoffs, and it's an exciting, a big night for Brian Trottier.
I'll drive to the net, I'll look for rebounds if I'm out there with whoever. And it's a very exciting time of the season, and there's no place I'd rather be than in a situation where it's do or die. And I mean, I've worked hard for a long time to get back into this situation, and I feel very excited about the whole thing.
Penguins have a lead, but remember, the second and third periods have been death. Back with a second period face-off in just a moment.
In an ongoing research project to determine the ultimate beverage, I'm isolating superstar model Cindy Crawford in a Pepsi deprivation chamber.
I'll do anything for science.
We're allowing Cindy a wide range of beverages, but not a single solitary drop of Pepsi. You're hip. You'll be all right. Cindy, how do you feel?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm dying for a Pepsi.
Conclusive scientific proof. Pepsi is the ultimate beverage.
The Sports Page Bar and Grill now has some of the best entertainment in the AK Valley. Sunday is 30-something night featuring karaoke, a free buffet, and a happy hour. Enjoy your favorite sports on our big screen TVs. Wednesday is our country beer and barbecue bash with plenty of specials. Thursday is Studio 70s night with all your favorite hits from the 70s. Friday and Saturday is the weekend party madness. Get the best entertainment value at the Sports Page Bar and Grill.
News more often. This is a KVL News Update.
Hello, I'm David Johnson. In the news tonight, a patient dies after being brought to McKeesport Hospital. Others who've come into contact with that patient, including medical staff, are being treated for mysterious symptoms. We'll have more on this bizarre and still developing story at 10 o'clock tonight. Police in West Mifflin say 2 out of 3 suspects they nabbed for allegedly robbing a restaurant early this month are the wrong ones. We'll have the details at 10.
Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is brought to you by your all-star Jeep and Eagle dealers, the best in automotive sales, service, and value. By Coors Light, it's aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. By Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. By Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, and performance are never optional. By Pizza Hut, Pittsburgh's favorite pizza, 10 years running. And by your Western Pennsylvania Acura dealers. Acura, some things are worth the price.
We've harped on the Capitals' advantage in face-off. Penguins losing the battle again, but not by as wide a margin. Capitals won 12 face-offs in the first period. The Penguins 10. So we're evening that out just a little bit. At the end of the period, just to catch everybody up to date, both Peter Taglianetti and Keith Jones given 10-minute misconducts. So we'll probably see Chris Tamer's first appearance here in the second period while Tags is out.
Lemieux winning the face-off to begin the second period. And the Capitals take it back, and it'll be Joey Junot driving the puck into the Penguins in. Joe Ricci paced away for the Capitals with 4 of their 14 shots. Junot had 3, and Stevens trying to get a step on Kevin Hatcher. He has been tremendous in this series, and he flattens Stevens, and Lemieux takes a quick, or Taga takes a quick shot that Defoe blocks. The second period, a very important one for the Penguins, I think. If they're to have a chance to come back in this series, they've got to establish themselves. Here's Ulf Samuelsson shooting. That was blocked in front by Hatcher, and Stevens knocks him down. And controlled now by Kelly Miller. Well, Stevens and Hatcher have played against each other for a long time. Pavanka crunches one towards the net, and Ulf Samuelsson had to come off his body. Capitals go to the left wing corner, and Shell Samuelsson now taking Washington. Forward Dave Poulin out of the action. Here comes Ulf Samuelsson on the move. Lemieux running a little pick here to let Ulfie go into the Capitals in. Around Johansson moves in with a flip shot, and it's off the glove of Defoe. And with possession, the Capitals, and they swing it back to the Penguin line. Caps will try and make a line change, so will the Penguin. Damer takes the biscuit, wind it up to Ronnie Francis. Lead pass by Mullen, but Yager's after to the right wing corner to Mullen in front. A backhand shot. Defoe stopped that. Somebody has lost a helmet loose. Here's Murphy shooting. Where is it? It's underneath Brian Defoe, where a lot of bodies around that net. Hatcher got pushed out in that play, and he had his helmet knocked off. He was out for an extended shift. And the puck underneath. Byron Defoe, the Capital netminder. He's allowed only 1 goal, and that's the only one in the game by Sean McEachran in the first.
Well, the Caps are out shooting the Pens at 14-12, but the Penguins have had 4 or 5 just great opportunities. And here, Yager does a good job to get it in Mullen. Mullen's not in position to shoot, but he is able to get something going, and Larry Murphy driving in. Just can't get to the puck quickly enough. Just think if one of those goes in, take that 2-goal lead. Maybe things start to change just a little bit. They just can't seem to get that big goal. Well, the night that they were up 2-1, you felt they got that 3rd goal. Went up 3-1, it would have made a difference. And Kevin Stevens playing his best game of the playoffs thus far. And I think, Mike, also the Pens doing a better job of getting that 3rd man high when they're in the offensive zone.
Right point, Murphy of the Penguins shoots it towards the net. Stopped in front again by the Capitals, and Junot's the man that did that defensively. Junot rambling back to the right wing. Great pass to Christie. Gives it left side. A quick shot, and Barrasso stopped that on Bondra. What a pretty passing play by Junot to help set that one up. But Bondra now it's pushed back to the net, and Barrasso has it again, and he holds on.
Maybe you look back to that save as the game progresses and unravels. Maybe you look back to that save by Tom Barrasso on Kristich, and maybe making a big difference not only in the game but in the series. This time the Pens were not able to get back. Yager was caught in deep in the zone. And here's the 2-on-1. Yager not able to get back there. And here's the kind of big-time goaltending that the Caps have been getting from Don Beaupre. And he had to slide over to get it. Kicked it away.
But again, Joey Junot, and I don't mean to keep harping on it, every time he's on the ice, something's happened. And he made that play happen with a brilliant pass to set up the 2-on-1.
I'd like to file a flight plan for him right now for the rest of the series.
Trottier in against Kristich with 18:22 left in the second. To the right of Barrasso, this time the Capitals win it. They go to Cote, right side. He fakes a shot. Ulf Samuelsson went down, moves in deep. And to swing it in front. Kept away by the Penguins, but not out. Junot centers it. Look out. Here's a man open. Cote gives it over to Bondra, and he pulls the trigger, partially deflected by Ulf Samuelsson. And Straka trying to clear it. He can't. Cote swing it back towards the net. Loose in front. Barrasso comes out. He'll fire it by Junot, and the Penguins just missed on a chance there to get a 2-on-1. There's a big check by Ulf Samuelsson on Christie. Sends him flying. And the Penguins, McEachran flattens Peter Bondra. I think the Penguins realize the importance of this second period. I really do. They know that they're right up against it here. They lose tonight, and the series is over. And they've come out here strong in the second so far. McEachran trying to wheel his way in. Now an open shot by Samson, but he missed the net from the right wing circle. Tamer flattens one of the Capitals. That's Bondra. Tamer again with the puck. And the Penguins are playing right now like a desperate hockey club. They have the lead 1-0, but they're trying to protect it and add to it. Tamer's going to blast it back into the right wing corner. And Ricky comes after the puck. Swinging ahead on to center ice. And when Stevens goes back into the right wing corner, and Ricky pulls it in. Throws it over the head of Larry Murphy, the Penguin defenseman. Tamer back. Will they call an icing play on this? They will. Icing called against the Capitals. 17:02 to go in period number 2. Penguins lead 1-0 on the KBL Sports Network.
During the Dodge National Minivan Sale, there are even more reasons to love Caravan. In fact, depending on which Caravan and which options you pick, you could save up to $2,600 on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan Sale, the place to go for people who don't know when to stop. Number 1 from day one, Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan.
This broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited. Penguins have a bit of history on their side. Since 1991, when they faced elimination, they have won 5 and lost 1, the lone exception being last year against the Islanders in Game 7.
Lemieux's trio on with Tocchet and Stevens. Capitals gain possession of the puck. Hatcher. Dish it ahead to center ice to Kelly Miller. Into the Penguins end. Lemieux takes it away. Mario going rink wide with a pass. Tocchet muscling it in on Johansson. Beat him to the puck and throws it in. Here's an example of the Penguins getting to the puck first and making the play. Tamer to Lemieux in the near corner. Around to Tocchet trying to center. Can't make that happen. The Penguins lead 1-0. Caps dish it by Lemieux and up the right wing comes Kelly Miller. Lost it again. Stevens and Lemieux, but he has Hatcher to beat. Mario comes down, trying to work off a check here. Goes into the slot, and the Capitals take it and backhand it away.
Something the Penguins have had difficulty doing, clearing their own zone. You saw the Caps do it right there. And the Pens are going to have to do a better job of clearing their zone, or it's going to cost them. And soon.
Ricky right at his own blue line. He's paired out here with Kevin Hatcher. And off the leg of Hatcher, off Samuelson banks it down the near boards in the Capitals' territory. And Rinky goes around the horn. Really just lets it go, and it went by Burridge, too. Burridge has yet to score in this series. And he was a big factor against the Penguins during the course of the year. And he's not been playing. You got to feel somewhere along the line Randy Burridge is due for something, so you've got to keep an eye on him.
He's got 1 assist in this series, and he had 5 goals against the Pens in the regular season, including a hat trick and an overtime goal. Other than that, he didn't do much against them. That's what he's talking about, the 1992 series when the Penguins, of course, were down 3-1 and came back to win. Only 9 Capitals left from that team. I mean, they've really made a tremendous overhaul and upheaval in their roster. Only 9 guys remain from that team that blew that 3-1 lead. It's actually down to 8 tonight because both Frey's not here, or he's not dressed anymore.
Francis losing the face-off, and the Capitals take possession of it. This one up the near boards. The Penguins come in and steal. Yager of the Penguins. He is decked and knocked down by Cote, and the Capitals come the other way. Mike Ridley stepping up the Penguin territory in the slot for Pat Peake, and he can't get it to him, and it comes right point over to Cote. He's shot off a leg, and they carry him back to center. He's going to wind it behind the Penguin net. All Samuelson and Greg Brown are paired defensively. Someone took a big bump there as he was hit by Joe Ricky. Checking for it, kind of Walchuk after getting the puck, throws it in. Remember, Keith Jones and Peter Taganetti are both in the penalty box. And this conduct penalty is coming to the 20-minute mark. And actually, is a break for the Penguins the way Jones has been playing in this series.
Big play by Ron Francis there to pin a man behind the net and enable the Penguins to gain possession of the puck.
And here they come again. The Capitals. Ridley down the right side shoots and scores, and the Capitals have tied the game at 1. Mike Ridley down the right wing just took it right back in, and the Caps have the tying goal by Mike Ridley. And you can't keep him down forever. 5:10 the time of the goal by Ridley.
Mike Ridley, a 26 goal scorer during the regular season. As I mentioned, had been in a slump, only 2 in his last 18 games. And he has got his second goal of the playoffs. Again, the 2-on-1 break. Greg Brown getting caught up ice, and Cote makes the play to free up Ridley. Didn't have a play to pass over because Samuelson blocked the passing lane. He decided to go with a shot, and he ties it up at 1 apiece. Now how the Penguins react to this tells the rest of the story for the rest of the series.
And the Capitals back to get possession of the puck, and here they come out of their own end. Joey Juneau scooting back to the Penguin stripe, and he'll move in. Trying to shoot it to the net, stopped in front by the Penguins. They can't clear. Juneau's in there again. And Shell Samuelson now drops it down the near boards, and this will be an icing call if the Capitals get there first. McEachran flying in to try and touch it. Slaney beat him to it, and we get an icing call against Pittsburgh. 14:27 to go in period number 2. The game is tied at 1.
Get it moving. And the Silver Bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Line change may have been part of the reason that the Caps were able to gain the Penguin offensive zone 2-on-1. And of course, the Pens did not have control of the puck at center ice, and they were caught shorthanded.
McEachran's going to bank it up the boards into the Capital zone, and here's Calle Johansson losing the puck to McEachran. Steps back in, and he shoots the puck right on the save made. Straka working with Sandstrom and McEachran. It'll speed it on the center ice, and Shell Samuelson drives it back in. Slaney defensively for the Capital. Off the window to Peter Bondra. And Tamer takes it from him, and he guns it right back into the Capitals net area. Byron Defoe looking for his first win ever in Stanley Cup competition. He's played 1 game. That was a 2-1 loss to the Penguins in game 2. Bondra's pass up to Christie. He's trying to get around Tamer. Can't do that. Talking to the Penguins up the left wing of Lemieux. He breaks in against Hatcher. Fires it, and that stop made by Byron Defoe. There's a case here where the Capitals were trying to get Hatcher on to play against Lemieux, and Lemieux knocked down Hatcher from behind. Lemieux now hits by Hatcher. Battle for it, and the Capitals have it. A lead pass right wing to Bondra. Bondra moves in with a little drop pass to Joey Juneau. Juneau walks right in on goal. He tried to flip it over, and it's stopped on by the way of Murphy, and now Bondra fires one wide. It comes back to Hatcher. He'll work in. Backhander scores. What a play. Kevin Hatcher up high on a brilliant goal, and the Capitals have the lead 2-1. Boy, he went to the right place. You got to go up the ladder, and he did it on a backhand shot, and that's an all-star move there, giving Washington the advantage.
Bondra made a pretty blind pass behind right to Kevin Hatcher, and they let Joey Juneau skating all alone. Obviously, you can't do that. Someone's got to take the guy, and even with his speed, Murphy's got to come over and make that play, and a pretty pass right out to Hatcher. That's when a defenseman wants to join the play right there. Barrasso dives out to try to challenge Hatcher, which at that point is his best option.
Mario Lemieux was nowhere around because he was back in the Capitals in with Kevin Hatcher behind the net, and then scrambled to get back in the play, but it was too late. You'll see him whack Hatcher here, but too late. Juneau was the guy that walked in, so the Penguins are trailing 2-1. A couple of goals, a minute and 35 seconds apart, giving the Capitals the lead. Juneau again figures into the play. Here's Jogger to the right wing, moving into the Capitals end, offside against the Penguins. Kevin Hatcher scoring the tally. Boy, I'll tell you, you can't make a better shot than that as a defenseman, and he is a good goal scorer, Hatcher, but you get a goaltender any way down, and you can go upstairs and with authority and give him credit. That's an all-star play there by Kevin Hatcher.
Well, the Capitals are making the plays. I mean, Rick Tocchet faced a very similar situation earlier on, not from the same spot on the net. but he could not put a puck into the net with the goaltender sprawled down and out of the play. Hatcher, 16 goals this year, his first of the playoffs, but a 34-goal scorer last year.
Yager trying to take it back for the Penguins, comes in and shoots it wide of the Capital goal. Bill Samuelson blasted it again, blocked. And Tamer's got the puck. His shot blocked again by Washington. And that's the call here. We've got a hurt player down. One of the Caps is down. Collision maybe with Tamer, or maybe the puck cutting. Pat Peak who's down.
Four in the second half of the jersey, I believe it is Pat Peak. It is
Peak down on the ice.
Pat Peak is a rookie. One of the reasons that the Capitals were willing to trade Dave Elenock, at least initially, down to Tampa Bay, they thought that Peak would step up and take that scoring slack. Peak may have blocked a shot.
He did.
Hurt.
They blocked 3 shots on that last barrage by the Penguins. And they've done a lot of that in this series. And that's just giving your body up. I mean, they're playing playoff hockey right now, the Capitals, and the top of their game. And they have the lead 2-1, and will return to the Civic Arena. And the Caps 2, the Penguins 1.
When we introduced the Dodge National Minivan Sale, we knew people would like getting great option discounts on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. Just like they've always enjoyed air at no extra charge with the Caravan Family Value Package. But when people hear that their savings can total $2,600, well, we're taking appropriate measures. Number 1 from day one, Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan.
One of the things that I enjoy a lot about where I work right now is we have the opportunity to teach medical students and residents. So you're not only doing just the clinical side, but you get a chance to give back a little bit too. And it's a lot of fun because the students and the residents will keep you on your toes. So you have to stay on top of everything, and you got to make sure that you know what the latest thing that's come out in the journal or the books or the texts. So they teach you a little bit too. But it's a good, fun way to practice medicine, and when you get an opportunity to teach as well.
Asking rhetorically how the Penguins would respond to the goal by Mike Ridley, which tied the game at 5-10. They responded by giving up another a minute and 35 seconds later, and now they are down 2-1. And a familiar scenario, second and third periods. To repeat, the Capitals have now scored 12 goals in the second and third periods combined. The Penguins won, and that was with 44 seconds to go in game number 1, and frankly it didn't have much of an impact, although it did draw them a win-1. But the point is, the Capitals have owned the second and third periods.
And the amazing difference in this series for the Penguins is that they've always had that ability to come back, Stan, and they have not been able to do it. And it's starting, I think, mentally telling the Penguins now. And should they get another one, I think it's going to be just a long haul for the Penguins to get back into the series, because they're mentally right now just not able to get it done. And here is Straka along the near board, going to Sean McEachran. Fighting through, the Penguins face elimination if they lose tonight. The Capitals lead the series 3-1. Straka on the right side, shoots it towards the net, never got through. He battles in again to get the puck, but he can't do it. And Ridley scoots it ahead up the center now to Kelly Miller. Coming back to the Penguin line. Miller darting in, circling with a spinorama move. Holds onto the puck, passing to Cote, shoots it, stops, and rebound comes out. Ridley can't get there. Thomas Sandstrom drags it back on for the Penguins. Right up to the Capital line. Now Burridge and Sandstrom collide, and Burridge lost his helmet. A very close game here. The Penguins trailing by 1. Burridge bowls over Ulf Samuelson. Here's the play right in front of the net. Bouncing through to Barrasso, and he stops at, and the puck right up in the air, and he's able to stab it right out of the atmosphere and hold on as Connor Walchuk almost got that puck line.
Well, Barrasso was like a third baseman. Just block it with his body, keep it in front of him. Almost a fluky goal. Really put the Penguins in dire straits. Burridge fighting for the puck without a helmet, and here it comes. And Connor Walchuk did get a second chance at it as the puck would not settle down, and Barrasso finally grabbed and held on. What the Penguins don't need to do, and what they should not do, is get crazy here. There's no reason to panic. There's an awful lot of time to go. We're talking about 31 and a half minutes of regulation play. No need to abandon anything. They're only down a goal. You don't want to start taking chances here because it's really not necessary.
But again, you know that they're aware of the fact that they haven't scored in the second period, and they're probably pressing a little bit here to try and do just that. Stevens of the Penguins unable to get it. Connor Walchuk, and this is where the Capitals have taken full advantage of the Penguins because they have made plays off mistakes the Penguins have made in periods 2 and 3 in this series. In fact, they get it will be Calle Johansson. Delivers it over to Connor Walchuk. Connor Walchuk looks up. And Tamer stopped that play. Here's Stevens of the Penguins dropping the puck down the boards and in behind the Capital goal. Myron Defoe. Let's Hatcher take it. Right into the center ice to Michael Pavanka. Rested inside the Penguin blue line, and going forward will be Larry Murphy. Backdoor it over to Wolf Samuelsson. Wolf finds Rick Tocchet, and Tocchet now drops it down to the right wing corner of the Capitals end. Stevens wanted to check Johansson. He sidestepped that check, and Stevens went right into the boards. And here come the Capitals again, racing through to the neutral zone. Bondra trying to avoid Wolf Samuelsson. And Wolfie gets the puck, and he just sends it back into the Caps in. I don't know if I've ever seen Kevin Hatcher play as consistently well as he is here in this series. He has been an absolute brilliant defenseman for the Caps. Off to Bondra. Looking for Dmitry Kristich. He's into the Penguins, into Juno. Juno back to Kristich going for the net. Tamer takes him hard to the boards. He couldn't pull the trigger. Here to the near side. Off free. It comes to Cote. Cote back in the corner, and Kristich goes after it. He looks for Juno. He and Francis go for the puck. Francis won that battle. Where's the biscuit? And Francis reaches in, trying to get a handle on it. Juno's right there with that wand, trying to get the puck away from everybody. 10 minutes to go in the second period. The Capitals lead 2-1. The Penguins pull away after winning the puck. Headman pass by Mullen. On for Yager, and it goes by him all the way to Defoe. And Myron Defoe able to stop it around the net. Just take possession. And look at Jaromir Jagr, who's been unable to score here in this series so far against Washington, and that really was one of the strong points the Penguins felt that they had going in. I think most people did, that he'd be able to work their defense, particularly the left side. And there's another credit of the distinction here for the Capitals, their ability to close him down and not work. And he hasn't had a lot of opportunities one-on-one against Capital defensemen staying in this series, because he's had to face not only the defenseman but one or two forwards around him all the time, and that's how strong they played defensively back in their own end.
He did not score a goal against the Caps during the regular season either, and they're one of the few teams that assigns a man to him almost in a Lemieux-like fashion.
And on the center ice, Ridley carries the mail into the Penguins end, and Burridge turned around by Taglianetti. Taglianetti back on here, and so will be Keith Jones after the misconduct penalties have expired. Doug Brown trying to get his way through traffic. Goes to McEachran on the left wing. McEachran with the only Penguin score of the night. Capitals lead 2-1. If you joined us late, the Penguins had a 1-0 lead at the end of one, but the Caps striking for a pair of goals a minute and 35 seconds apart here in the second, and now have the advantage 2-1. Trying to close out the series against the Penguins. Cote drops it back off the boards and in behind the Pittsburgh cage. Delivered to Stevens on the left wing and relayed to the right wing corner. I wonder if he went back and looked at the Capitals and their situation here as they have the lead, and we still don't know the outcome of this game or anything, but here's Pavanka bringing it in. That game that they won against Pittsburgh in overtime, how much that game meant to their season when they beat them in the overtime period on the goal by Burridge. I'll be curious to ask them when the series is over, do you think that was a critical turning point of the season for your club? Because you came in, and not only because they're beating the Penguins here, but maybe that little over-the-hump time that allowed them to kind of gain confidence and go on and solidify a playoff position, and then go on and play extremely well in this playoff series.
Well, I think it's important. I think it's an excellent point, because remember, that game, they were on a 6-game winless streak. They were 0-4-2 coming into the arena that night. They win that game in overtime, and at that point, they were not guaranteed of a playoff spot. And I think the fact that they broke that 0-4-2 streak with an overtime win against the Penguins on the road, I think catapulted them into the playoff picture. That time they trailed Florida.
Here's Dave Poulin coming on, and I can see the frustration now starting to be evident in the Penguins game. We've seen them start to whack people on almost every occasion. If they keep doing that too, they'll need raw penalties here, and they've got to be careful of that. But you could see it in the way they're reacting on plays. Lemieux running one of the Capitals, and it comes on the center ice. Wolf Samuelsson over to Greg Brown, and he'll drive it back to the Capital zone. Off the left wing side, Tocchet to the pin. Shoots that one, it'll miss the net. Francis around the right wing boards. Ronnie Francis on here replacing Lemieux now as he comes on to center this line. The Capitals have it, and again, good defensive play by the Capitals, just to feed it on the center. And they quickly strike into the Penguins in again. Poulin drops it down in the corner. Dale Samuelson back to get the puck. He'll find an avenue, getting the puck to Ronnie Francis. We were wondering if the Capitals could play any better than they did in the first 2 games, but they have not stopped in this series. They played every game the same way, and it has earned them 3 of 4 wins in this series so far. Cote back to get it. He is hit by Ron Francis. Cote steering around. Here come the Capitals. A 4-man rush to center ice with Juneau leading the parade again. He just seems to get the puck and make everything happen. Down to the left wing corner to Christie. Christie down behind the net. The Capitals after it. Juneau can't get there, but the Capitals will feed it over to him. Back to Bondra, throw it to the goal, and it's Barrasso stopping that with a stick. And the Penguins start out of their own end. Straka, Mullen, and Yager. Yager comes down, trying to go around the defenseman, and Cote stops it with his glove. Mullen has it, he fires it, but he missed the goal. It's been that kind of series for the Penguins. Mullen shooting, can't find the net. There's a sharpshooter, almost 40 goals on the year, and wristed back to the goal, and Barrasso makes the play. Doug Brown over to McEachran. Juneau stopped the play again with a defensive effort. They're doing it all. Taglianetti up, and he fires it back into the Penguins' end. Ricky's the first man there. Out of the zone and quickly to Juneau. Lead it to center circle, and the Penguins bounce it in. 6:40 to go in period number 2. The Capitals lead Pittsburgh 2-1. Keith Jones has turned around, lost the puck, and the Penguins find Greg Brown with it. That's Marty Straka take possession. McEachran trying to reach in and get it, and he can. Now Brown, McEachran, and Straka out here for the first time in the series. Straka's going to come off here, and so is McEachran and Brown. That's the first time in the series. That line was pretty effective for the Penguins at times during the year. First time they've been together. Tamer stepping back in. Buffalo leads New Jersey 3-2. That game in the second period in New Jersey. Montreal and Boston scored us in the second. Here's Tocchet wristing one, and that won't find the net. Tamer going back to get the puck. Right inside the Penguin line. Penguins are not, we're talking about shots, but I mean they're not even hitting the net stand. Their shot attempts. Mullen, Tocchet, and people like that.
You know, when they do gain the blue line, it's like the convenience store offense. You're in, you're out.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving. Oh yeah. Come on. Sing it. Yeah.
And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving.
Come on.
Coors Light.
Oh yeah.
Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy.
Sing it.
Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Of all the happy trips you'll take in a caravan, perhaps the best will be the trip home from the Dodge National Minivan Sale, where you can get up to $2,600 in total savings depending on which caravan you choose, including air at no extra charge with the Family Value Package on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan Sale. Have a nice trip. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
This day in Penguin history brought to you by 102.5 DVE. 5 years ago tonight, April 25th, 1989, we were all 5 years younger, and Mario Lemieux tied 5 NHL playoff records with that 5-goal performance against the Philadelphia Flyers, 10-7. In the playoffs, game number 5, went back to Philadelphia, lost game 6 to even it up, came back home, and none other than Kenny Reggett stood on his head and his ear on the top of his helmet and knocked the Penguins out of the playoffs, and the Flyers went on to play the Montreal Canadiens. But Mario with 5 goals that night, tying 5 playoff records. The Pens beat the Philadelphia Flyers 10-7. A lot of people think that the Flyers came back, were able to win that series because they came back so strongly in the third period in what had been a Penguin rout that night.
Well, Mario in that game, and now I'm going to put myself on the spot, had 4 goals in one game. There's been only one other player in the history of the National Hockey League to score 4 goals in a playoff game in one period. You know who that is?
Stevens had 4 against Boston.
Not in one period,
Not
though.
one period.
Not in one period. Mario had 4 in one period. And I looked at that, and his brain cells are going again. Mario's tied with somebody.
At least you had him to begin with. I will look it up.
You know where it is? It's in your Stanley Cup playoff guide.
Stanley Cup playoff guide. My Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup playoff guide?
No, not that one. This one here. Is this it here? Is that Washington there?
It's Washington.
No, there's another one.
I'll find it. I happen to know. You folks talk among yourselves while we do this.
Now the Buffalo-New Jersey game, let's update you here and give you the scoring in the game. Buffalo with Himalev, Plant, and Mogilny scoring. Mogilny with his 4th now in the playoff series. New Jersey with McLean and Claude Lemieux. 3-2 Buffalo in the second period of New Jersey. Montreal and Boston still scoreless in the second at Boston. And Patrick Roy and John Casey, the goaltenders of record there in that one. We've got 2 series completed already. The Rangers eliminating the Islanders in 4 straight, and ditto that for the Dallas Stars, knocking off St. Louis 4 in a row. So the Blues, who last year beat Detroit 4 straight
to open up.
Yeah. Blues 4 straight themselves.
Wait a minute. Don't confuse me now.
Maybe it's most points. I think it was goals. I think I saw goals.
Most goals went to Tim Kerr.
Tim Kerr, that's right. And he had it. Is it against Pittsburgh?
No, against the Rangers.
Against the Rangers, okay.
And that was in 1985.
There you go.
He was tough that series. They couldn't handle him. Mario, 4 in 1 period. In the first period, the final score of the Penguins, 10-7 over the Flyers. Tim Kerr of the Philadelphia Flyers, April 13th, 1985. You mentioned Kevin Hatcher earlier, Mike, playing the best extended hockey of his career. The other thing is, too, with Kevin Hatcher, he has accepted the leadership role in this club. For a while there, they handed the baton from Rod Langway to no one in particular. And I think that Hatcher has now grabbed that leadership role with relish, and maybe it has to do with Iafrate leaving. Who knows? But Hatcher has become a leader through example and in the clubhouse, and that has been a major factor in his stepping up. He wears the C and has done a terrific job in the playoffs, stepping forward and taking that responsibility. I really think Jim Schoenfeld challenged him with it. He did not have a great season compared to seasons past. Regular season I'm talking about. He was a minus player. He was a minus 13. Had a brilliant year in 92-93, and I think Jim Schoenfeld challenged him to become a better player, be a player who would play up to his abilities and take a leadership role.
Now we're back to play with a face-off in the Penguins' end to the right of Tom Barrasso. And the Capitals leading 2-1 of Peter Taglianetti. Stepping right back behind the Capital goal. The Penguin goal comes out. Fan on an attempted pass. Now it's to pull it back. Relays it to Larry Murphy. Penguins trying to get back and win a game in the series to make it 3-2 and force a 6th game at Washington on Wednesday night. If they don't win this one, the Capitals win the series. Lemieux with a pin. Pulling back. Backdoor over to the left side. Over to Peter Taglianetti. Will shoot it to Kieran off the leg. The Capitals have it again. Pavanka's got it caught in his glove. And that stops the action. Got a face-off here. Lemieux being warned by referee Paul Stewart about something. Stewart grabbing Lemieux's stick now as if to tell Mario that's enough. And Mario grabs the stick right out of his hands. Mario's frustrated here as much as anybody, and he is warning a couple of people here. Lemieux may be going to the penalty box.
Well, Lemieux's angry because Kelly Miller, he felt, interfered with him on his way in. Paul Stewart is not a guy who calls a lot of penalties.
He's warning them now. He's telling them no more.
Paul Stewart's one of those guys who talks a lot. Now he's talking with purpose here. He's one of those guys who talks to the players a great deal. And
no, it's unusual to see a referee grab a player's stick. Trying to get his attention. Very unusual. That must be our ESPN look. Certainly, yes. Lean your head down and turn your head up, turn your body upside down, and then we have the face-off here. Stevens banking it in. Right behind the goal. ESPN providing the pictures for this game here tonight. Left side, Taglianetti drills it towards the goal. Blocked. The Capitals again Throw it up the ice. Defoe had lost his stick, but he has it back now. West Tagonetti scoots back into Penguin territory. Less than 5 to go in period number 2. Washington leading 2-1 if you joined us late. Rockets cross rink pass to Tagonetti. Steps around Joey Juneau. He'll come in. Going to Stevens, has a chance here. He shoots and scores! Kevin Stevens got it through to Poe. And the Penguins have tied the game at 2. Now, buck 'em, Nano. Kevin Stevens gets his first of the playoffs, and the Penguins make it a 2-2 tie.
Well, how about Peter Taglianetti being the offensive threat to break things loose? He's got the puck carrying in his glove, actually throws it into the zone, avoids a check by Joe Ricci. And a good job by Taglianetti to beat Ricci and right out to Stevens, just inside the right face-off dot. And a terrific job by Taglianetti, and a quick release by Stevens. There's the key. Ron Francis in front to occupy some space, and maybe they get Stevens off the snide with his first goal of the playoffs, and maybe it breaks a bit of the drought for the Penguins. Let's see what happens in the final 4.5 of the second.
Shell Samuelson turned it. I want to Barrasso making an assist on this. Taglianetti carried it all the way from his own end. Rick Tocchet will be the other assist on it. Here are the Capitals breaking right back into the Penguins' end. We are tied at 2 in the second period in game number 5. A big battle in the corner. Ridley gets it free to Ricci, and he'll shoot. That one was deflected. Well, the Penguins have worked so hard and gotten so many chances around the net where they've been stopped. And that was kind of an innocent-looking play, and you never know when certain things can turn a series around. And right now, the Penguins have tied it. Here's Mullen. Had a poke check to the way off his stick. Back to the Capitals line.
And Mullen saved Jaromir Jager's bacon, who made just an awful, stupid pass in his own zone.
Artie Straka trying to get to it, and it comes up the near side. Back to Taglianetti, who goes rink wide over to Shell Samuelson. It's passed down the right wing. In the Capitals' ice, and Cote back to play the puck. Around to Keith Jones. The Capitals really haven't faced a whole lot of adversity in this series. They haven't really faced it as of yet here either, because they're tied at 2. Straka goes after it. They have been pressured all that much. McEachran going for the puck. Over to Murphy, tried to shoot it, and he fanned on it, and the Capitals come rambling back. Juneau caught from behind with the speed of Sean McEachran. I think I'd play him straight up on him if I could. McEachran against Juneau. At least get him out there because he's got the speed to compete with Juneau. Other people haven't been able to stay with him. Going back into the Penguins' end, and here is Taglianetti drilling the puck down the near boards. And that's out of action. With 2:50 left here in the second period. The game tied at 2.
Well, Byron Defoe really had not been challenged a great deal. The Penguins went for a long period of time without a shot. He's a guy who's given up some rebounds and has flopped down to the ice on occasion.
That's the first shot the Penguins had in
8 minutes, 9.
I think when we looked at it, Stan, we went to a commercial break and we were looking at the clock. It's going to be a good 6.5 since they had a shot, if not longer. I just can't recall. They have only 16 in the game again, and 6 here in the period.
6 in the period, and 5 of them were very early on. Remember the 4-year on the net where Larry Murphy couldn't lift the puck over. It had been a long, long time.
Right point Hatcher, and he'll dish it down to the near corner. From behind the cage, Shell Samuelson after it. Lemieux banking around, but not out. Michael Bamaka hammered by Shell Samuelson and Kevin Stevens. And everybody is waiting for the Penguins just to break loose. And I don't know if that's going to happen. And you just get that feeling there. They just keep pecking away here and trying to get back into it. And they've tied the game. And here comes Shell Samuelson charging up with the Capital strike, trying to beat Dave Poulin. Dumps it by him. And behind the net, Kevin Hatcher. Off the glass. And out now to the neutral zone. Tocchet bumping Poulin off the biscuit. Penguins force it again inside the Capital line. Kevin Stevens finally getting a goal here in Game 5. He had been a terror against the Capitals in prior series against them. Johansson hit by Tocchet. And Hatcher gets to the puck. Working up to the blue line, and out it goes. Konowalchuk turning with 1:45 to go in the second period. Makes a nice move to get around Taglianetti, but he can't beat the Penguins' Larry Murphy. Joe Mullen seems to have a little hop in his legs right now, late in the second period. Taglianetti Gets the puck right back to Joey Mullen. Slippery Rock Joe to the right side to Murphy. The pass off his skate. Jones trying to get it. Murphy will. Here's Mullen right in on goal, and it's going to be called back, though, in an offside play against the Penguins. Right at the blue line, the Penguins offside. And there was Joe Mullen darting in around that net. For the first time in this series, he looked to me like he just had the speed and the ability to get there.
Pat Burns is a guy, and a lot of hockey people have for a number of years, talk about generating offense from your defense, making defensive plays, which in turn sends your offense loose. That's exactly what the Capitals have done all series long. And when we talk about the Penguins 2 years ago going to that 1-4 delay, they were looking for the defensive plays and then turn around going into offense. And in a 2-2 hockey game on home ice, you can certainly attempt to do the same thing. You don't have to take wild chances.
Day just shoots it into the Penguin zone. Now Yager hold it on the backhand. He wants a new stick now as he comes to the bench, and they'll get him a new piece of timber. Capitals race back into the Penguins in, and Ridley doing that as he's pressured by Larry Murphy. Behind the Penguin goal. The Penguins yelling, Barrasso yelling instructions with a minute to go in the period. Outlet pass to Joe Mullen. Crisscross finding Yager. Yager's up. He is hit. The puck lifted behind Defoe. Going back for it will be Joe Ricci. Ricci, the Capital defenseman, spots Sylvain Cote. Met right at the blue line. Lemieux made a play there. Stevens coming in. He's pulled down by Cote. There'll be a penalty against the Capitals. Sylvain Cote. The Penguins are starting to press the issue here against the Capitals, and they go to work on a power play again. 19-18, the time of the penalty to Washington defenseman Sylvain Cote.
This will be the first power play opportunity of the second period for either club. Stevens has played a very strong game, and Cote tackled him because if he doesn't, they've got a 2-on-1 with Lemieux. The Penguins 0 for 2 on the power play. They've generated 4 shots on goal in their 2 power play opportunities thus far. And a power play goal here, heading into the third period, might electrify the crowd and maybe electrify the Penguins as well. Our American Airlines power play contestant, Carolyn Hanley of Mount Lebanon. Carolyn, would love to give you 2 tickets to Friday night's game number 7. We can get them to you that quickly. The Penguins' lone power play goal, and they are now 1 for 6 million. 1 for 20. Came on a 2-man advantage in game number 2. The Caps have now killed what? 15 in a row.
All right, you math wizards, what's 1 in 20? What percentage is that of the power play?
5%. I didn't even have to take off my shoes to figure it out.
Francis against Poulin. Hatcher now will be covering Stevens again. The penalty will carry over to the third period should the Penguins not be able to score here late in the second. Played off the glass and out of action here by the Capitals.
Kevin Stevens, the Penguins' leading power play goal getter on the season. 21 of his 41 goals came on the power play. Everything else talk about second half slumps. Stevens only had 15 goals the second half of the season. And he had a total of 41. So clearly, he was a player who struggled the last 42 games. Stevens also played in more playoff games in Penguin history than anyone else.
Here's an amazing number. Brian Langway, who for years was the Capitals' #1 defenseman, is now just 1 game ahead of Kevin Hatcher all time. Hatcher hadn't been in the league, it just seems that much. He has played a lot of playoff action for the Capitals. This is his 77th game. Here comes Lemieux. With it behind the net to Tocchet. Back to Mario. Looking. Goes over to Tocchet. Tocchet and a raven in front of Stevens. He can't do it. Francis has it. Ronnie can't make the play, though. And here's Pavanka beating Murphy to it and chops it away into the seats.
Well, regardless of what happens, Kevin Hatcher is going to tie that record. Go ahead unless he gets injured.
Montreal and Boston, they are tied at the end of 2 now. Scoreless. No score in that game. And New Jersey has come back to tie the game against Buffalo at 3. Stéphane Richer with a power play goal late in period number 2. They're still in that period.
Richer's had a big playoff. Not many goals scored in that series, obviously, but Richer has seen scoring all the New Jersey goals.
We got the sports page coming up. Second intermission.
Yep.
Bob Pompiani will be on board. He'll bring you up to date on all those games. We await eagerly, Robert. We'll report on the sports page. Right now, we've got 15 seconds to go here in the second, and Hatcher from the face-up can't get it out. Murphy back around the net to Stevens, trying to backhand it towards a goal, and he's knocked down now. Stevens got hurt on that play by Pavanka. He looks around, talking, battling against Hatcher, and they have words. Are they going to go here? Time is going to run out as the period ends. I'm not sure if Hatcher or Pavanka hit Stevens. Not likely that Pavanka would be the man to do it. Stevens and Hatcher now chatting with one another. And the period comes to a close. At the end of 2, we've got a tie hockey game. And of course, a regulation period to go, and also maybe overtime. Game 5 is all tied.
Presenting 3 very impressive sedans. The Nissan Sentra XE comes with cruise control, air conditioning, and an AM/FM cassette, all standard. The Honda Civic DX and Toyota Corolla DX don't. Let's try this again. Presenting 1 very impressive sedan, the Nissan Sentra XE. Right now, a Sentra XE is priced $1,700 less than a comparably equipped Corolla DX. Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car.
From Gillette comes a revolutionary form of antiperspirant protection. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Because it's a clear, clean, powerful gel, it goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. All-day protection against both wetness and odor. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. One of the advanced deodorants and antiperspirants in the Gillette series.
This week at Foodland, Lipton tea bags 100-count box or Seal Test orange juice 1 gallon just 99 cents with coupon. Coke in assorted flavors a 2-liter bottle only 98 cents. Maxwell House Coffee for all coffee makers just $2.99. Kellogg's Raisin Bran a 20-ounce box, buy one get one free with manufacturer's coupon. And yes, double all those coupons too. It's your everyday savings at Foodland. Yes.
Foodland, yes.
This is the Sports Page, brought to you by the Tribune Review, Pittsburgh's lively, colorful newspaper.
And what's going on, everyone? I'm Bob Pompiani. Welcome to the Tribune Review Sports Page. In between periods, and we still have a hockey game. Will there be 1 period left in the season? Perhaps that. 1 more game, who knows? Right now, it's 2-2. Second intermission, the late goal by Kevin Stevens, the equalizer so far. Other games, Buffalo and New Jersey. This one 3-3 in the second, and it's been quite a hockey game. A lot of scoring. You wouldn't suspect that with Hasek versus Brodeur, but we've had some goals. The first one came for the Buffalo Sabres when Dale Hawerchuk made a nice feed here to Yuri Himalev. Himalev shoots and scores up high, beats Brodeur to make it a 1-0 game. New Jersey answered that. Claude Lemieux in the corner with a nice feed here to John McClain, who one-times it by Hasek, and that makes it a 1-1 game. Sabres got the next 2 goals. Donald Audette to Derek Plant. And take a look at this. Plant makes a good move, and he plants it up high. Make it a 2-1 game. Buffalo had the lead. Just a couple of moments after that, they made it 3-1. Again, it's Hawerchuk to Alexander Mogilny. Behind the defense, he moves in, and take a look at him. Make no mistake, when he's in close, he's going to score. That made it 3-1 Sabres. But a late goal by Claude Lemieux on the backhand. Circles in front, shoots and scores to make it 3-2. And then remember Frank Pietrangelo in the save. Martin Brodeur robbing Mogilny with the save of this hockey game. 3-3 right now in the second. That series equal to 2 so far. Montreal and Boston scoreless in the second period. Patrick Waugh again has been the difference. 31 saves through a period and a half. The Bruins are throwing everything at Patrick Waugh, and so far they have nothing to show for it. Here's one of those saves. Raymond Bourque moving in and taking a shot. Waugh was there, no rebound. He's been terrific in that department. That series also tied at 2, scoreless in the second. Well, the Steelers felt very fortunate when Charles Johnson was still available when they were selecting 17th in the first round yesterday. They also felt pretty lucky that Bam Morris was available in the 3rd round that they were picking, and they made no mistake about it. They took him. Bam Morris, Byron Morris, the man out of Texas Tech. Last year, 1,700 yards rushing, 22 touchdowns, an average of 5.9 yards a carry, and this guy can do it all. He's fast. He's also a guy who can clobber up the middle. He broke Earl Campbell's single-season rushing record in the Southwest Conference. He is the Steelers' third-round pick. And let's take a look at the board to see Johnson, then Brenton Buckner, who's also has a nickname of Bam. 22 sacks for him. Third round, they had 2 picks. They go for linebacker Jason Gilden first, and then Bam Morris. Fourth round, guy from Hawaii who was the state high school shot put champion, Tase Famue. Then it was Myron Bell and also Gary Brown in the 5th round. 6th round, Steelers got a quarterback they really liked. Excellent arm on Jim Miller from Michigan State, although he had more interceptions than touchdowns. Then they go Penn State and get Eric Rabati, the linebacker who had 6 sacks last year. And finally, in the 7th round, Bryce Adams goes to the Steelers. Charlie Ward, by the way, the Heisman Trophy winner, not drafted today. Baseball scores, Chicago 3, Cincinnati 1, that one in the 5th. Also, Florida leading Atlanta 3-1, same inning in the 5th. Colorado and St. Louis are 3-3 in the 4th. Pirates tonight, they're in Houston, first of a 2-game set, and Denny Nagel off to a bad start. Terry Collins going against Jim Leland for the first time. Collins, of course, coached with the Pirates last year. He's in his first season with the Astros. And Denny Nagel got one up here to Bagwell, goes to left. Al Martin trying to make a diving catch, can't come up with it, goes to the wall. And Bagwell, for a big run producer, can also run. And he ends up with a triple here. And they're knocking on the door. Luis Gonzalez then knocked the door in with his single off Carlos Garcia's glove, and Bagwell came in to make it a 1-0 game at that point. Later, with 2 aboard, look at this. Nagel grooved it. Andy Stankiewicz, the former Yankee, clobbered it, a 3-run home run. And that's where we are right now, 4-0 in the 5th. The only hit of the game for the Pirates, Orlando Merced. Minnesota-Cleveland 4-4, that one in the 7th inning. New York leading California 7-0 in the 5th inning tonight. Oakland over Baltimore, that score 6-3 in the 5th. Milwaukee 2, Chicago 1, and Kansas City leading Toronto 4-2. Paul Molitor, by the way, at age 104, has an inside-the-park home run. Still could run pretty well for that age. And Detroit and Texas, they are in a rain delay. That game has yet to start. Coming up next, it's going to be third-period action. We'll have all kinds of highlights, post-game interviews coming up on KDKA-TV tonight at 11. We hope you join us then. Penguins and Caps, game number 5, period number 3, straight ahead.
It can get rather lonely out here on the test track this time of year. Because of all the top-selling import luxury sedans, only one offers a combination of front-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and electronic traction control. Standard, the Acura Legend GS, which proves you can still be a leader, even if you can't get anyone to follow. Acura, some things are worth the price.
The RCA Home Theater comes with a new optimum contrast screen for blacker blacks, brilliant whites, and a picture so clear and bright, you'll feel like you're really there.
See the exciting new RCA Home Theater TVs at Daniel's Variety in Pittsburgh.
If buying a major appliance today can be a major surprise when you take a look at the price, Appliance Repair Shop on 7th Street in New Kensington has a better idea. Stop in and see what your dollar will get you on an A1 used appliance. These reconditioned appliances have our technical approval to provide you with years of service. We also repair all major brands. The Appliance Repair Shop has in-home and in-shop repairs along with a 24-hour emergency service. If you own an appliance, keep this number handy. The Appliance Repair Shop, 7th Street, New Kensington, phone 337-6606.
Nursing around, they're always perfecting their system of teamwork. Picking a horse starts with Nick. Hey, we're up by 2. Then there's Tom. Jack's 4 under par. And Dave, he pulls it all together. So it's the number 2 horse in the 4th race. But sometimes the system works better than others, like determining how many hot dogs to buy with the winnings. 30, love.
Head on up to